Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, I'm Kimberly Brock, and for the last 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. And so now I'm on a mission to help other women just like you do the exact same thing. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started. Well, hello, it's Kimberly here. It's episode 55. And today I am talking about those emotions that you need to take out of things, out of your entire business process for the most part, and put strategy in. Yes, replace emotions with really solid strategies. Before we get started, if you're new and you've just stumbled upon this podcast, welcome. Each week I provide valuable tips so you can start and build a business doing what you love. Make sure you hit subscribe right now. If you're an Apple Podcast, just click the button. That way you just get notified each week when I drop new episodes with tips and advice so you can do this. And if you haven't gotten the free resources that I give to all my new listeners, you can scroll down right now. Yes, there's 2 separate ones. You can get one or both. There's a 16-step checklist to get your business started so you know what you're doing. It's a handy checklist you can keep out. And also I have the business purpose guide. If you've never heard of it, it's how to discover your business ikigai, which is your reason for being. It's that intersection of your passions and strengths and skills to create a viable business. So make sure you get the free resources. Subscribe to the podcast. And if you've been listening a while, thank you so much to all of my loyal listeners. I wanted to give a shout out today to MC8907 for this awesome review. It says, if you are thinking about starting a business, Kimberly provides advice and easy steps to take the guesswork out of the process. If you already have a business, she provides ongoing advice to connect with customers and thrive as an entrepreneur. I love that. Thank you so much, MC8907. And if you are listening right now and you have never given me a rating, I would be so grateful if you would take literally 1 second. If you're an Apple Podcast, you can just scroll down, hit the 5 stars. That will give me a positive rating. It lets Apple know that this podcast is valuable. And if you have 30 seconds to a minute to write a kind review, this means so much to me, and it helps Apple and Spotify and all the players know that this is a worthy podcast, and I hope that they will show it to more people like us who are just trying to build businesses doing what we love. Okay, that is it. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. On to the episode. Well, hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you are here today. This is an important episode to help you be strategic when you're getting emotional about your business. Because I'm telling you now, you will experience emotions. I think it was 2 episodes ago. Was that episode 53? I shared about the 7 things you need when you start your business. And spoiler alert, one of them is you need to buckle up for the emotional roller coaster that you've just hopped on. Yes, you are on one. And if you haven't listened to that episode, by the way, I'll put the link below. There are so many emotions involved when you start a business and as you're building it for all sorts of reasons. During all the times that you're making decisions, it's when you're dealing with clients. It's when you're getting sales. Like, you wouldn't believe the emotions, positive and negative, that you experience the entire time that you're starting your business. And so today, I wanted to talk to you about how you can take emotions out at certain points and put smart strategies in. And how do we go about doing that? How do we take the emotions out of it? Well, it's hard. You're never going to be able to 100% take the emotions out of this whole business building process and running it. You're not, because this business is something that you love, right? You're doing something you love. You are building a business that is fulfilling, that's bringing in money, that's making an impact on others' lives, right? This is such an exciting time, and it should be emotional, and it should mean something to you, right? And when things go wrong, it's sad and hard and it's emotional. But what I'm also finding is that when you're making those crucial decisions and you're going through certain processes, you're not stopping yourself from furthering those strong emotions. I think you need to have like a pause button, like a moment where you intentionally choose whether to keep moving forward with these emotions or whether you choose to be strategic about your next step. And I liken it to how I handle keeping certain desserts hidden away in the back of my pantry. So they are not in the front where every time I walk by, I see them. I hide them back there so that when I feel the need for these yummy desserts, right, that I know that are bad for me and I shouldn't be eating them all the time, but I know that I will want them sometimes, right? When I know that I'm yearning for those, there is an intentional moment that I have to choose whether to grab the dessert and eat them or not. And the way that I create this intentional moment is I make it really hard for me to go back there and get them. I actually have a moment of pause, like in a moment of intention. And as I'm reaching for them, I have to think, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? Am I doing this because I'm bored or am I doing this because I actually want it? And if I actually want it, I eat it. And if I'm doing it because I'm bored, then that's dumb. It's calories that I don't need, so I don't eat it, right? It's the same with your business and your emotions. Your emotions are going to come just like that yearning for me was coming for the dessert, right? Your emotions are going to come and you're going to have a mechanism to pause for a moment and discern whether this is something to move forward with emotionally or if this is something to move forward with strategically. And most of the time, it's going to be a strategic path. Most of the time, you have the opportunity to make a strategic decision. And you do that by stepping out of your business and looking in as if you're someone else. So today I want to share with you 5 ways that I see people bringing drama and emotions into their business and how you can give yourself pause and put that mechanism in place so you can choose strategy over emotions so that you can build a successful business, right? And these have come from those of you that I've worked with. I've seen this happen firsthand, and I've also seen it happen with me in my years as a business owner. It's been 20 years I've been doing this, now almost 21. I've gone through so many emotions, and I do have a podcast episode on that too, about the emotional roller coaster. So you might want to listen to that too if you're feeling it right now. Maybe it'll give you hope that it's okay and that this is part of business ownership. So I'll put the link below. There's 2 episodes that I've referenced and I'll put them below. So the first one that I see people create drama and emotions in is during the phase of product creation or product development. Many of you get so excited for what you want to offer, which is understandable. We should be excited and passionate and enthusiastic about what we want to share with the world and the difference that we want to make. But sometimes we don't step back and pause and say, is this what customers are actually wanting? Is it a form of something that they want or need? And you, as a business owner, as a new business owner, have to validate your idea. Did you know that? If you don't, today's the day you learn that you have to validate, number 1, your business idea, but number 2, what you're actually offering. And P.S., if you are in the academy, I have a whole workshop. It's one of the phases of the business idea workshop. It helps you validate
your business idea. I give you all kinds of ways on how you will do that to make sure that what you're creating for people is desired and it's something people will pay for. You have to do that. You have to take the emotion out of it for a little while and sit back and go, okay, am I offering something that is in the form of the way people want to buy it? Right? So you have to think that through, because people bring in emotion and then they just start their business and they start offering something and it's not necessarily what customers want to buy. Right? Okay, so think about that. Ask yourself, am I being too emotionally excited about this and not really thinking intelligently about what customers want and they will buy? If you haven't, you need to validate the idea. You can post it in our Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group, get in there. You can post it in there and ask the group what they think about what you're going to offer. You can do that. You can ask me if you're in the academy. You can post it in the portal and I will answer you and let you know. It behooves you to ask a lot of people. You need to get a lot of opinions. And best of all, you need to find the people that would actually be your target market that you would want to serve. You need to ask them. Okay? The second way I see people bring in drama to their business is through their pricing. And this one gets me because as a product-based business owner that I was for 20 years, I never really had that much of an issue with pricing. It was never that much of an issue. I knew that I doubled the price on my products. So if I bought products from a wholesaler for $20, I doubled the price. I sold them for $40. But if I somehow enhanced the product in any way and did something new to it, we would raise it more to, $45 or $50, right? So if you're a product-based business, my guess is it's not that hard for you to price. But if you are a service-based business owner, if you sell digital products or a digital course, you may have struggled with pricing, trying to figure out what the heck you come in at to price this. And again, this is going to go back to that whole validation phase. Pricing has to be validated. You have to make sure for the markets that you serve that they are willing to pay this price, but it also has to match your brand, right? It has to match your brand because pricing is a huge piece of branding. And another piece is it has to match your experience, right? It has to match the experience you had. If you have 25 years doing something, you've been doing the same thing for 25 years, and now you are offering that one thing, like if you've been teaching piano for 25 years and now you're, starting your new business, maybe you were working for someone else and now you're starting your own business teaching piano lessons, you can charge a good price. You are worth it. Make sure you are pricing accordingly. Make sure you are pricing high enough to show the value of what you offer. At the same time, if you are tutoring people, SAT, and you are just a student and you've just graduated and now you're going to teach other students how to do the SAT, yes, you are valuable. But at the same time, you're starting. So make sure your price is reasonable because you may be competing against some woman who is an expert in the SAT and has seen all the changes and knows everything about all the SAT questions for the last 15 years. She's been helping people. Her price is going to be different than your price. You have to be smart about your pricing. So you have to have a pause where you sit back and you say, is this pricing matching what my target customer would pay for this kind of service from someone like me? And if you're offering a digital course, you really need to think this through. And if you're in the academy, post this question, ask me about your pricing. I love to help with this because this is huge. It's huge what you come in at, and it can take a lot of time and angst figuring this out. And it can become a very emotional process. You have to step back. Don't make it emotional. Pause. Have that mechanism where you take a break and go, okay, let's be logical about this. Have I verified it? Have I verified it with my target market? And if you haven't, go do that now, because once it becomes a logical decision, it won't feel so emotional. Okay, so now let's move on to the third one. Again, the first one was in the product development and product creation phase. Make sure you validated it. Make sure you pause and you make sure you don't make this an emotional decision. You pause and make it a strategic decision about what you're creating. And then also number two, a strategic decision about price. You have to pause, take the emotions out of it. I know you think you're worth a lot more, or maybe you don't think you're worth enough. Whatever it is, you've got to be strategic, price it right, take the emotion out of it. The third way I've seen people bring drama and emotion into their business is when no one buys. And this breaks my heart because when you start a business, it is so scary. It's uncertain. You're wondering, are people going to buy my stuff? Do they know how much I put into this? What's my family going to think of me if I don't sell anything? Like, you're so worried about a million things. But this is what I want to offer you today. If you are just starting your business, you're about to put your first product for sale, or maybe you've just gotten it for sale, I want you to take the emotion out of it before you get nervous, before you get scared, or before you get sad and upset that no one's buying. You need to pause, step out of your business, and ask yourself, what have I done to share this business with people? Do they know that I have this business? Do they know what I offer? And do they know how to buy it? Ask yourself that logically before you get upset and offended and just mad or thinking that you are not going to be able to make this business work. Have you really made this business visible? Because that's what I would ask you. If you hired me to do one-on-one coaching, I'll tell you right now. Be like, okay, let's lay it out. Show me what all you've done to be visible. Does anyone besides your family know that you've started this business? How have you shared it with the world? And only you know how you feel most comfortable doing that. I believe in the beginning, however you feel most comfortable is the way you should start. And you need to get it out. People need to know. So don't be upset and crying in the corner because no one's buying your beautiful candles or whatever you've made, your t-shirts, your cups, whatever it is. If nobody knows that you offer this, then how are they going to buy? No wonder. So let's get smart. Let's get a plan together and help you move forward so people can know about your business. And then based on numbers, you're going to start getting sales, right? Based on the number of people that now know about your product, you're going to start getting a return rate on a certain amount of people that will start buying. Okay, so take the emotions out of it, put the strategies in if you're feeling scared about getting those first sales. Okay. The fourth way that I see people putting emotions and drama into their business is when they have customers that are unhappy or customers that are mad or customers that leave a bad review or customers that steal from them. Because yes, I have actually had all of those as a business owner, and you will too. Most likely, you will have all of those. You will have somebody that is rude for no apparent reason. And usually the rudest customers, this is what's so ironic. The rudest customers are the ones that really don't have a reason to be that rude. They really don't. They're just mad about something and they're taking it out on you, and it will happen. There will be your customers that you do screw something up really bad and you feel terrible. And I will tell you this, the ones that we have screwed up the most in general are usually the nicest people. Because they are usually gracious when they hear someone genuinely and sincerely apologize and make it right. Okay? And another thing that's going to happen is people are going to probably steal from you. I've had several over the years, but one I can remember in particular that made me so upset. Someone ordered a big order of sleeping bags and nap mats and needed it overnight or needed it by like Friday that week. And I did everything I could. I got my manufacturer to ship it, shipped it out, all the sleeping bags and nap mats, and they separated the boxes. They put all the sleeping bags in one box. They put all the nap mats in another box, shipped it to the customer. Then the customer the next week, even though it was delivered when she said, calls the credit card company, doesn't even call me, and says, I never got it and I paid for this. And I take that back. She said, I never got it all. I only got one nap mat and 2 sleeping bags. And we were like, that's not possible. We shipped them all the sleeping bags because we use a certain size box for the sleeping bags and a certain size box for the nap mats. They were different sizes. The customer blatantly lied, did this on purpose. Credit card company would not listen to me. FedEx did not care. They showed that they delivered it, so they were not liable. It really comes down to the merchant account, which is your credit card company that processes your credit cards. And just as an FYI, they will always err on the side of the consumer most of the time. I don't know that I've ever won a case where someone fought the credit card. I don't think I ever won, even in a situation like this. So pathetic, so maddening. Your emotions will be through the roof when it happens. Your emotions will be through the roof when someone's rude. Your emotions will be through the roof when you do screw up and you feel terrible. You'll be so devastated that you screwed something up for somebody and caused an inconvenience. And you will be devastated when someone steals from you. What you have to do right now is tell yourself, just like me going to get the desserts in the back of the pantry, stop for a moment, pause, take a deep breath. Number one, know that this happens in business. So you're not the only one. This is not the first time this has happened to a business owner. It happens. Number two, get a grip and logically think about it. Think, okay, number one, there's rude people in this world and I'm gonna have to get used to it. Even though that guy was so rude, I've had people be so mean to me and my sister-in-law that was taking the customer service calls for me for years. We've had really rude people. And you have to step back and go, this is what it is. This is upsetting and hurtful, but this is part of it. You already have to know, just like when you buckled up for the emotional roller coaster, you put your big girl pants on and you know that people are going to be rude, right? You know that you're going to screw up at one time and you are going to inconvenience somebody really bad. You are going to screw up something important for them. Most of the time when we screwed up, as I said, people were super sweet. One time though, and now I can't remember which team it was, but I sold team gear. Those like baby gear for like baby gifts. So college team gears. Well, I royally screwed up and shipped a customer their rival team baby gear. Can you imagine? So they open it up and I think it was Michigan State. I may be mistaken. They open it up. They were livid, so mad and so rude and couldn't believe the audacity. I think they thought we did it facetiously, that we did it mean just to like jab at them. I've never lived in Michigan. I don't know anyone who went to Michigan. I have no alliance or allegiance to Michigan or Michigan State. They were so mad. It was part of it. We screwed up. We knew we did. And so what we did was, as we have to do, step out of your business, look at it objectively and say, is there anything we can do from now on to prevent this from happening again? And we realized what we could do instead of just packaging up the products is like actually get a pencil, put a check mark next to the size and the team to make sure that we were packaging the right products. So it was like a checks and balances. So it actually turned into a good thing. So we probably prevented a lot more mad customers, right? So make sure that you can learn from it, even when customers are mad. There's nothing you can learn from people who steal from you. I'm sorry, you're just learning that this world is not perfect and that there's rude people in this world. But you have to know that this is just the reality of business, right? And the reality is you're going to screw up sometimes. You're going to be apologetic. You're going to be sincere. You're going to do the right thing. If you need to overnight them a package and lose $50 or $75 or $100 overnighting your package, you're going to do it because you want to save the reputation of your business, right? So take the emotions out of it. Don't panic. Know that this is okay. If you need to cry, my dad used to say, if you get really upset about something, you can cry for 10 minutes and that's it. You're done. So if you need to cry for 10 minutes, allow yourself that and then be done. Okay, but take the emotions out of it, put the strategy in. What can you do to make it better? And what can you do to hold your head high and know that still that what you do is amazing and what you offer is amazing. You screwed up or a customer was rude and just try to move on and focus on the good things. Okay. The fifth way that I see people bring drama and emotions into their businesses are actually when things are really good, which this probably sounds counterintuitive, right? So think about it. Let's just imagine your business is doing $100K a year or whatever you've gotten it up to, and you're so excited and you're so happy. And I remember this happening to me when I was doing several hundred thousands with one of my businesses at the time. Remember, I had two going at one time. And one, and my husband was looking at the charts and he's like, oh, look, over next year and then the next year, it looks like you're going to be scaling to do this. And I remember I just felt uneasy about that because I knew that most of my business at that time was coming from Google search traffic, meaning because Google was ranking me on the first page, I was getting a ton of traffic for like Monogram cutting boards, Monogram nap mats, all these kind of things. And I just knew if Google pulls the plug on me for any reason, changes their algorithm, does anything, all that new business will be gone. I will be left with all my customers trying to get repeat business, which is fine, which is amazing. But I was growing exponentially at the time. And it was just growing and growing. And I was getting new business all the time. And I knew, and sure enough, like not long after, Google changed their algorithm and I got bumped to like the second page or I got bumped down the page and lost a lot of my new business. And it was really hard and emotional. What I want to say to you is this: the rug can get pulled out from under you. And we have learned that firsthand right now with what? COVID. We've learned this. Retail stores got the rug pulled out from under them. Restaurants got the rug pulled out from under them. They were having constant traffic. Everything was going fine. There was no reason they had to worry. And then bam, this happens. It can happen. So what do you do when things are going good? You pause, you step out of your business and go, do I have everything in place? Am I just like betting on black? Do I just have one way that I'm getting business, or am I diversified? In the ways that I have clients coming in, am I diversified? I mean, that's the best way to look at it. Have I created a solid foundation for this business that is not just one means of getting visibility? Have I done more? What have I done? So when things are going good, remember that it's awesome and exciting. And yes, you can go have a margarita on the beach, but really, that's not the end of it. You have to keep everything going. There's things that you have to keep in place, and you have to step out of your business, pause, and look at it objectively and go, okay, do I logically have everything in place here so that if the rug gets pulled out from under me on this side, I still have this side? Okay, because I think that's what happened to a lot of the restaurants and stores, is like they didn't have an online presence. So they relied solely on local business, which I understand. They rightly so. They had tons of traffic. There was nothing going on that was pulling it away. But think what happened to them. They had to scramble. So just make sure. Once you get your business going, then you can diversify. But I say at the beginning, start with one angle, get going, get revenue coming in, and then start making sure you are covering a lot of bases. This is just kind of something that you need to think about, because things will go good for a while, but you need to make sure that you have something in place. So again, let me review the 5 ways that people have brought drama, and the ways that you can step back and pause and be strategic with your product creation and development. Make sure you're not being too emotionally tied to what you're offering in the way that you're offering it, that you have validated your idea. Make sure that how you're offering it is the way customers want to receive it. Number 2, make sure your price is in line with your customer base, your experience, and your branding. Make sure it's all in line. Have you verified that? Have you done that? Number 3, make sure that you don't get emotionally freaked out when people don't buy, and you step out of your business and pause and say, do I have a marketing plan? Do I have a visibility plan? Just ways, or do people know that I have this business and what I offer? Okay. The 4th way is when people are unhappy or mad, do you have a way to deal with it? If you need to be upset, you can be upset because you screwed something up, or somebody was rude, or somebody stole from you. But what measures can you put in place now? Like, with those nap mats and sleeping bags, I should have had signature confirmation on that high value of a package. It was like $700 worth of stuff. I should have had signature confirmation. So you can bet from then on out, we put in signature. We made them sign for it. When FedEx delivered, we made big orders sign for it so they can never do that to us again. So make sure you put things in place and you learn from it. The 5th thing is that when things are going good, make sure that it's not just built on quicksand or a house of cards, that you actually have a solid foundation. You're diversified in the ways that you have visibility, and you know that you can keep this business going if something were to happen, like COVID or anything, because now you know anything can happen. So that is it. I hope you really thought through these 5 things and ways that you can take the emotions out and put strategy into your business. I'm so happy for you. And are you in my Facebook group? You better be, because you can ask questions like this and get feedback and run polls in our group. I love that. So make sure you're in my Facebook group. And if you don't know about the Academy, y'all, the Academy is amazing. It's my new program to help you get your business started and making money already. Let's get this thing going. You've got me to help you every step of the way. It's a 6-month program, and I would love for you to be in there. I would love to help you grow and become the business owner I know that you are meant to be. Okay, until next time, bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.